Hello, I'm Kevin Carlson with Crysalli, and I'm here with Kyle Coop, who is behind the camera. And what we're going to show you in this video is how to install the trunk line, or also known as the conduit, from the remote dispense tower to the remote chiller. So the first thing we're going to do to prepare ourselves to do the installation of the trunk line is I've taken this 4-product trunk line that comes with the installation kit. And I've actually measured the distance I need from the remote chiller to the dispense tower. The installation kit comes with a minimum of 5 feet of trunk line. If you need additional trunk line, you just need to specify it when you're ordering it. And what I've done is I've cut back some of the lines. So what you'll see here is you've got 2 red lines, you've got a blue line, and you've got a white line. The 2 red lines are your recirc line. One is your outgoing and the other one is your return. Then you've got your blue line, which is your sparkling water, and your white line, which is your still chilled water. What you'll also see out here on the cabinet is I've got this U-bend. So I'm going to install this U-bend onto the recirc. This is going to be my return. I've got a couple of these street elbows, the 3/8 stem by 3/8 John Guest push fit. I'm going to install those on my sparkling and still chilled water, which will be inserted into the super seal fittings at the tower. And then I've got some more street elbows that are going to be 2 of those are going to go on the recirc. The other 2 are going to go on the sparkling and the still chilled on the bulkheads of the remote chiller. And then of course I've got these locking clips that we will install once we get all the fittings in place to lock them onto the trunk line. All right, so what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut the tubing all square using the proper tubing cutters, added the street elbows, the locking clips, and then the U-bend to both ends. Next step will be we're going to install the street elbows onto the chiller. All right, so I've gone ahead and inserted the street elbows into the bulkhead fittings of this remote chiller. This first section is obviously the red, which I mentioned was recirc. That's going to go into the first bulkhead. The second bulkhead is your sparkling water, which is your blue line. The third one is going to be the white line, which is your still chilled water. And then the fourth bulkhead is for your return recirc line. So while we're at it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the connection of the water inlet to the chiller. Now this is the line that's coming from the filtration outlet. We're just going to plug that into the bulkhead that says water inlet. Again, this one I've inserted it into a street elbow, added that red locking clip. All right, now the next step is going to be to connect the trunk line to the tower. So as you can see, I labeled this Super Seal S, which is for sparkling. And what I did was pressurize the fittings and then open the faucets to see which one's which. So the faucet on the left at the tower is always your sparkling water. So I pressurized this, made sure I was getting airflow. I pressurized it with CO2, and I was getting CO2 flow out of the left faucet. So that's definitely my sparkling water side. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the connections, inserting these street elbows into the proper side. So first I'll start with the sparkling, which is the blue line, make that connection, insert it completely, and then I'm going to insert the still chilled, which is the white line. The next step will be we're going to go back and insulate all these lines. All right, prior to insulating all the lines, the next step what I'm going to do is I've pressure checked all the fitting connections to make sure there's no leaks. Now that I've pressure checked it, made sure there's no leaks, we're going to take the insulation tape and the insulation that comes with the install kit, and we're going to completely cover all the lines, all the exposed lines, so you don't get any condensation. All right, so we've gone ahead and wrapped the lines at the trunk line. So this is an example of what it should look like. And next we're going to do the same with the bulkheads on the back of the chiller. All right, to finalize the installation of the trunk line, we've gone ahead and wrapped the bulkhead fittings. So as you can see, there's no exposed fittings, put quite a bit of insulation on here, and sealed it all up, so there shouldn't be any condensation.